We started the stream today by having basically my SSF character before purchasing any upgrades, just to see like what the damage was like. We did a series of Uber Atziri. We did like 4 or 5 Uber Atziri today, just to kind of measure how significant each of our DPS upgrades felt. So we started out with like basic, just the character from SSF before he got migrated over to trade. So the first thing we did is we purchased the Lethal Pride jewel that I was trying to farm. So this gives us Chainbreaker. This means that we have rage all the time, and I'm going to left click Berserk because of the mana regeneration that I have here, and then a little bit from I guess the rest of the Ascendancy as well. We are able to maintain about 18 seconds, maybe 19 seconds worth of Berserk with like maybe an 8 second of downtime. Because of constraints of my attention span and how many gem sockets we have, I've opted not to put Arcane Surge in. Arcane Surge would give me 25 ink AoE from Illuminated Devotion, but I'm just lazy. So I've opted to do this instead, just to grab a little bit of extra mana regeneration to help maintain the Berserk here. First upgrade was Chainbreaker. Second upgrade beyond that was getting relatively lucky by crafting a new bow. The bow has more attack damage, which does apply to the explosive arrow explosions. We have +1 gems, +2 second sports. We splurged and bought a level 4 in power as well. I think we paid 4 exalts for it. And then we have a little bit of attack speed. So we went from a Quill Rain that has 3.0 attack speed to this thing with only 1.7. But we lost the 30% less damage multiplier, and instead don't have that less damage multiplier. So Explosive Arrow was level 21 already, hit that in SSF, but now it's level 28 because of the gem level scaling here. We don't have any upgrades from the amulet, so we don't have any plus levels here, but the other upgrade that's worth talking about is a point blank skirmish. When Explosive Arrow got changed from being secondary damage to instead being regular damage, point blank does apply to it. So if our ballistas are right next to something, they're going to be dealing 30% more damage with the explosion there. Let's see, we upgraded this thing here, the Lethal Pride, the bow, we crafted, linked it, got kind of lucky with it. I think it's a good bow. We upgraded the skirmish, and I think we upgraded one more thing. But that's all that I can think of right now. So every upgrade has felt pretty flippin' good when it comes to damage, when it comes to like how much time it takes to kill Uber Atziri. One thing that I do want to point out real quick is we have some minus mana cost of skills here and here, and then also from Replica Conqueror's Efficiency to make sure that we can place a bunch of totems. And last but not least is we have 8 totems, and we're using 1 Rain of Splinters along with Barrage. So we have 1 projectile by default, 3 more from Barrage, and then 2 more coming in from Rain of Splinters. So we have 6 projectiles total with 8 totems. So within 1 volley of arrows being shot at the enemy, if they're standing still, the idea is that 46 arrows are going to hit the enemy, and I am capped on my chance to hit. So 46 arrows, and the explosion from Explosive Arrow happens every 20 arrows. Every 20 fuses, a detonation will go off at that point. So with 1 volley, we should be hitting 2 explosions, and then with 6 extra arrows left over. The reason that we're using Rain of Splinters is that it puts us up over the 40 fuse mark within 1 volley of arrows. If our attack speed were different, or if this worked out differently, maybe we wouldn't be using this. But for right now, I think it's quite good. Wish that I had +2 arrows on this thing, but we don't. So, damn. Let's go. It's Awaken level 8. See how it goes. Come on, don't die. What if I just walked in and died? Holy crap. It's a little bit laggy. Bear with me. Oh, my Berserk's down. Oh my god, I almost got vaporized by dashing. dashing under him right there. You can kind of watch my rage go down. It just triggered a couple seconds ago. Oops. Die. Oh my god. Oh. It's a tiny bit laggy, not only because I'm streaming and because my PC is... It's okay, but whatever. But also because I'm using combustion on my main links. And anytime that you have like a whole bunch of small damage over time, ticking and calculating and recalculating on the enemy, that's when you're going to get just a tiny bit of lag. Especially me, because that's just the way things are.
I must have time to gather my will. Why resist?
Life really interesting enough to warrant all this pain.
Oop. Get him! Get him! I wonder what my chaos res is at. Negative 26. Perfect chaos res. Dying Sun works with ballistas. Yeah, Dying Sun would be awesome. Dying Sun, Wise Oak, I think would be your two unique flasks that you'd consider using. Dying Sun would just be super, super. If you were using Dying Sun, honestly, you'd probably consider just clearing using LMP instead of using GMP. And then, like, yeah, your best bow here would have 2 arrow suffix. You could even double corrupt your skirmish, right? Get point blank and extra arrow.
Feel the thrill of
One thing that I like pointing out every time that I do this fight is that anytime Cyrus turns to go somewhere, or sorry, every time that Cyrus teleports somewhere, he always turns to face that direction before he teleports. So if you keep track of which way he's facing, you can avoid losing track of him. He's gonna be right here. Here. Over here. So even if you're a potato like me, you can still just keep track of him, right?
feel the thrill of
Everlasting fire.
That's a lot of stuff. That is a non-zero amount of stuff. Damn. Yeah, good build. Would happily recommend it.
I'm sorry. Cirrus, this was all...
There's even more upgrades. We don't have Wed. We don't have elemental damage with attack skills. Don't have elemental damage with attack skills. Don't have +1, +2, or elemental damage with attack skills. You could have Culling Strike. You could have Proj damage. You could have all sorts of things. You could have elemental damage with attack skills. There's a common thread here. But yeah, build's really enjoyable. I like playing it.